whatever.
Hello YouTube, this is Stefan for Bushcraft Holland. Going to tell you a bit about the modifications I made on the Steel GI Tanto. But first I wanted to respond to the video of LateBoyScout. He had a cold steel leather neck and batoned with it and it failed. He sent it back and then Cold Steel said, well, batoning with a knife is considered abuse. Well, I don't think so. If you're telling everybody that you make really rugged knives, and even if you call it leather neck, that suggests it's a rugged knife, you should be able to baton with it. So perhaps they should change the name into a tender love and care knife and put it on a wall somewhere and not give it to people that are going outdoors. But anyway, I still like cold steel. I have some cold steels and I do use them. And this is my modified cold steel GI Tanto. I'm going to tell you about the modifications I made. First of all, the handle. I glued it on to make it stronger. And I really tightened the bolts and then put some glue on there. Super glue to make it stick so it won't come loose. I'm even going to add some more glue later on so it will have a nice fit. So, handle is glued on. Got rid of the hilt and the finger guard because I want to be able to choke up to the blade. I got rid of the false edge because I'm going to use this primarily for batoning and I don't want to ruin my baton every time I hit the blade, so I need this part to be flat so I can baton. I also got, I smoothened the curve and made it less tanto, more skinner. What I also like about this knife is that you have about a 14 centimeter cutting edge and here a false edge. If you take it like this, the weight is in the front of the blade, so it will chop. It will chop fairly decent, by the way. And you have the possibility to choke up to the blade and use it more in a bushcrafting style of way for carving, etc. And if you look, if you put your finger here, then the weight is in the handle, in the back side, so it's easier to maneuver. So that's about the modifications to the blade. And I'm going to add some more glue over here. Then some modifications to the sheet. First, I squared this part off because this one is primarily going inside my pack. I don't need the point there. It makes the whole blade or the package longer. And it might even puncture my backpack after a while, of course, after rubbing it. So I flattened this part. I lowered this part. And what I will do also is glue this, because I don't need to change this every time. I'm just going to glue it, make it real hard use. But I do like the sheet, by the way. The retention strap is okay. Even without the hilt, it fits in quite nice. It doesn't rattle too much. I will put it in a lanyard, by the way, for heavy use during winter. Because if your knife slips out of your hand in the snow, then you might lose your knife. And the handle is very okay, but it's slippery when wet. So usually I wear gloves when batoning or when chopping with this blade. But all in all, I bought this one to be a real working knife, and batoning is one of the main parts. Because I don't want to bring an axe every time I go into the field. If I go for 2 weeks maybe, I bring an axe or rather a large blade. I'm thinking Ontario survival Bowie. But if I'm going for just a weekend, 2 nights, 3 days, I want to bring a smaller knife together with my bushcrafting wood whittling knife. So I'm going to try this one, and if it breaks I will know that Cold Steel considers batoning abuse. Well, that's Cold Steel, not me, because I think it's a normal use of a knife like this. And by the way, I completely lost all the tactical features because I don't really need them. I just need it to be a hard-working bushcrafting style of knife. So, hope you enjoyed. Take care. Bye bye.
Whatever.